I was Lady Margaret Clifford, cousin to King Edward VI, great-granddaughter to the first Tudor king, and seventh in line for the throne of England. As the sole child of Henry Clifford, the Earl of Cumberland, and Lady Eleanor Brandon, I was the greatest territorial heiress in the country, and father was standing here proposing that I be married to a mere knight. But father never jested. In the 6 years since we had moved permanently to Broome Castle, after my mother had died, he had seldom even smiled. Melancholy wrapped itself around him. "My lord father," I finally managed to say, "have you lost your wits?" We stood nearly eye to eye, but not quite. Although at 16 I was taller than most women, his height was still greater. My mother had been tall too, with brown hair and hazel eyes, but I had my father's look, lean and angular, with a pale complexion and brown eyes. But my long hair was as thick and voluminous as my mother's had been, and its deep brown had a red tint, the legacy of the red hair of the Tudors. But father always said my strongest Tudor inheritance was my stubbornness, something I would now put to good use. I held his gaze. "I will not marry Sir Andrew Dudley," I said. "It is shocking to me that you suggest I even meet with him." I clenched one hand into a fist and angrily slapped it into the palm of the other. "Oh, that you would even invite him here!"
"I didn't invite him. You didn't hear what I said, Margaret. I received a letter from the king saying he had told Sir Andrew to visit to see if you liked each other sufficiently for a possible marriage."
"That boy king is a fool," I burst out.
"Be careful what you say,"
father replied sharply. I opened my mouth, but decided to heed his warning. I knew he was right. Beneath his mild and scholarly demeanour was the heart of a great northern magnate, an earl, descended from a family that had survived the wars of the Plantagenets and used their wits and determination to prosper. It was very fitting that the Clifford family motto was one simple but powerful word: henceforth.
"The king is no longer a boy. He is not much younger than you," father continued. "In fact, he has never had the luxury of being a boy, what with the responsibilities of his position since his father died."
Remorse pricked at me, and I felt a wave of sympathy for this cousin who I had only met once, many years ago. His father, King Henry VIII, had died a few months before my mother had, and Edward's mother, the late king's third wife, Jane Seymour, had died giving birth to him. Edward would have had to grow up very quickly. His life at the centre of the court would have been very different from mine, in a quiet, beautiful northern castle. But there were times, especially lately, when the isolation of life in the castle had grown wearisome, and I had longed for more excitement.